Okay.
It worked out.
I want to apologize to the 200,000 or 300,000 people watching right now. We are a little late because we had a Google problem. It said Google Hangouts on Air has crashed. Please reload it. So we reloaded it, and tonight we're examining. And I don't like the way Google Plus is even run actually, because you got to set up an event and then a week later you got to set up an event. You can't really, that I can understand, go into the event and do the live hangout. But anyway, we're looking at Kirin Ichiban. I asked Paul if he had a can, and he said rich people don't drink out of cans.
I didn't say rich. I think I said sophisticated.
Oh, I couldn't hear you that well, I guess. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Sophisticated people don't drink out of cans. Excuse me. Well, you know, if you get the can version, you get in 2 extra ounces.
Exactly.
It's a 24-ounce can, and the bottle's only 22.
Sophisticated people don't worry about the quantity. They worry about the quality.
Yeah, but it's the same beer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, anyway, from the west, we have Beer Cub and Michelle Stitches.
Howdy, howdy.
In Wyoming. In Texas, in the Southwest, we have Paul. And from Southern California, we have Eric, who's just showing us the couch. And we have Keone, who originally is from Hawaii. And from the South, we have me, Louisiana Beer Reviews, and Brandon with Brandon. Brandon's Beer Reviews. Brandon is a man about town. He is on like every hangout that is on Google+. All right. We have from Philadelphia, from the Philadelphia area, Eastern Pennsylvania, we have Patrick.
Good evening, folks.
From just north of the Ohio River in Indiana, we have Charles and John. Hello, folks. All right, so we're looking at Kirin Ichiban. Now, it's interesting because Kirin, the beer company Kirin, has been around since 1888, I think, right? 88. But the Ichiban has only been around since 1990.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that thick head.
I know. Mine almost spilled over.
Thick off-white head and a, what do y'all see about that appearance? Golden, huh?
Golden, lots of streaming bubbles.
Head didn't last very long, though.
Yeah, mine didn't either.
It went down really fast.
Look at mine.
You got a big carbonation.
It's pretty clear.
Oh, yeah.
It has a really golden color.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice in the light.
If somebody wouldn't mind, they could look on the Tap Into Your Beer website and tell us if it has any adjuncts. I'm not. Oh, and it's all malt. Never mind. Scratch that. The original Kirin was an adjunct beer, probably using rice since it's Japanese. But they decided to make an ultra premium beer in 1990. Well, really in '89 because they came out with Kirin Ichiban Light. Oh, there's Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, sorry I had to run off and buy the beer. Just got off work. I set it up, ran off to buy beer, and came back as quick as I could.
That's all right. That's all right. We got delayed. We had internet problems that weren't our fault. All right. So the next year, in 1990, they came out with Kirin Ichiban Shibori. Kirin Ichiban Shibori, which is the full alcohol version. So you can get the light beer version, and this is the 5% version. And Brandon's going to tell us what that means, Kirin Ichiban Shibori.
Well, Ichiban, first, it actually means number one. That's from the website, of course. So the first press process, what they use, Kirin Ichiban is really named the full cream of the malt liquid. The stream, or the combination is during the filtering process, the first strain of the malt liquid. And they use this to make the Kirin Ichiban. So they really are looking for the first pressing that kind of makes sense, right?
So like a tea bag, like the first press, and you get the richest like juice that comes out of it, in other words?
That's what it seems like to me, yes.
And Kirin is a mythical dragon monster of East Asia, right?
I think so.
That's what the picture on the bottle is.
Yeah. So the Kirin would be, and then so it's like Mythical Dragon #1 Shibori, or First Press. Shibori is First Press, I believe. And but this beer took over their line and became like the #1 beer that they produced all around the world. So it was like a huge hit. It's still very popular. You can find this in so many stores. It's 100% barley malt, water, hops, and yeast. No corn or rice. So it's like their ultra premium beer. It says prime brew. Now, somebody was telling me, why are we paying a lot of money for this? You know, I said, well, wait, it's not just a regular. Oh, there's Eric. It's not just a regular beer. It's like an above premium. So it's going to have above premium prices made with a more exacting brewing method. And y'all know where this one's made, right?
Los Angeles, California.
Mhm.
Yeah. And in Williamsburg, Virginia. Eric, hello.
Hi, everybody.
We thought you were in Canada.
I still am.
I don't think we have any French translators here, Eric. Sorry.
That's all right. I got neck water for you. It tastes just like Blue Moon.
What are you on about?
Now,
Weed.
now this beer, I was reading on their website. They said that I'm talking about the Kirin website. They said they contract brew around the world, and they said they're real strict about it. Like they make sure that their representatives go to the Anheuser-Busch brewery and ensure that they do it correctly. Well, I guess they hired the right people because I'm sure Anheuser-Busch would have the expertise to nail it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you don't have to worry about it being shipped across the ocean. Also, one more thing, and then we'll look at the beer. Anybody know who owns Kirin?
But isn't it Anheuser?
Mitsubishi?
Correct. Mitsubishi.
Oh.
That is interesting.
It says Anheuser.
No. It's
Brewed under
Same as the car company.
by Anheuser-Busch.
yeah. Read that carefully, Eric. Again, loud.
Brewed under Kirin's strict supervision by Anheuser-Busch, L.A., California, and Williamsburg, Virginia.
So, it's a contract that they have with the Kirin Corporation. But Kirin Brewery is owned by Mitsubishi of Japan, famous company, which is huge because they own all kind of stuff: brewing, food. I think if you go to a lot of these sushi places, they have Kirin products. Of course, Mitsubishi Lancer, automobiles. So,
But you know, one thing I've been reading a little bit about this for the last week or so, and so many people say that the Anheuser-Busch one is so much different from the Japan version. But if they got all these people coming out to all these different breweries looking at all this, aren't they all the same? Getting the taste all the same?
you would think because they're sending people from Japan and they're testing it and they're saying, oh yeah, you're doing it right. So then why would it be
Depends
different?
on the water, depends on the ingredients, where they're getting them from, and stuff like that, I would think.
Well, whatever the case, like you're saying though, Paul, but whatever the case, Kirin must be pleased with it because it's been going on for 25 years.
Right, but I can see how it could taste different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wouldn't know because I'd have to go and get the Japanese.
Who's gonna go? Who in this group is gonna go to Japan?
I don't want to,
I'd
but
like to do a beer tour in Japan, but anyway, I'm getting a lot of lacing on my glass.
I have none.
What do y'all?
I have
I have
none.
some. I have some.
I've got a little, not a ton.
I got a lot actually. Look at that.
Who has never had this beer before?
I
me,
never have.
Who? Patrick?
Me.
I have had it before.
I've had
Who
I've
has
had-
not? Who has not? Michelle,
Had it.
Patrick, Keone,
Charles never had it.
Charles. That's 4 people.
Me, I never had it.
Who? Keone?
No, it was Eric.
Eric? Eric's
Yeah.
never had it. Eric Anderson. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Paul, you've had it, right? You've been drinking on the 6-pack? No, you just bought a big bottle.
Well, I had a couple of them in the last couple of weeks, but I also had it at, at Shogun or Benihana or places like that.
Oh, okay. Well, If anyone wants to add me to Untap, they can. Brandon says. Okay.
Sweet.
All right.
I'll
Well,
add you, Brandon.
I've had this a few times actually, quite a few times, and I've had the light. I don't know if y'all have had the light version.
No.
But I haven't had all those other Kirin beers. Y'all saw on Facebook, I was putting all those other interesting Kirin brands,
Yes.
like Kirin Super 7.
Yeah, I've been noticing even in Canada that there are some brands that we do get in the United States that either just don't have the distribution into the United States or just are not popular enough to make it into the United States.
Right. Wouldn't y'all like to try that Kirin Super 7?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Canada's big about dry beers still. They got a lot of different dry beers in Canada. I know that.
Wow.
I know
Wow.
Japan makes a lot of dry beers that we don't get in the United States like they do in Japan. Yeah, Canada has Molson Dry still and Milwaukee Dry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Japan, yeah, the Japanese invented that dry beer, right? With Asahi.
Asahi is good.
Yeah, and then the Asahi Super Dry became their #1 brand because they used to have some other Asahi beer that was like their flagship, and then when the Super Dry came out, well, that was it. The other one got pushed to the side.
I have some pictures of me from like 1993 maybe, with cans of Bud Dry in the background, and I laugh when I see them because I don't even remember that party having it there, but I know they're in the picture.
Yeah, Molson Dry is only brewed in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. It's the only place you're going to find it, Molson Dry.
Oh, man. So the only dry beer we get in America now is the original, the Asahi Super Dry.
That's right.
Interesting how that works out.
I'm looking at Bud Dry right there. I used to buy Bud Dry a lot. But then they never promoted it. Well, anyway, back to this beer. What do y'all think about it? What do you think about Kirin Ichiban Sabori? It says, brewed for good times.
That's exactly right. I love that beer.
I can believe it. Definitely.
I think it's a pretty good beer, really. I mean, it's been a long time since I had it. I guess we done like Brandon did. We done some quality control the other night on a couple, so it's got some big malt. I mean, it's just a good beer all the way around.
It's a little watery to me, light. There's almost like an alcohol finish at the end. It's very like cereal, grainy. You know, I don't know. Like if I was gonna go for a Japanese beer, I'd go with Asahi. I think Asahi would be highly.
I think it's a little dry.
I know it's dry, but it's not like Asahi Dry.
No.
I prefer it to be drier, actually.
And I agree with him. It's a little. I think it's a little watered down off the light. But other than that, I mean, it's a good one.
I like how crisp and carbonated it is. And I'm not a lager drinker, but I actually kind of like this. So I don't know if that's good or bad, since I don't really tend to like lagers. But
I think it's good.
Is this a lager?
Oh yeah.
They call it lager.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
I didn't actually see the word anywhere on the label.
Yeah, in Japan, lagers is like the king. You know, I mean, I was reading the National Geographic magazine. In Japan, they go out a lot, like after work. And it's always they're real segregated in Japan. Like only men go out. I mean, women might go out too, but always men together, and they drink like enormous quantities of beer every night after work. And it just gets. And they were talking about how it gets like progressively louder and louder and louder in these bars. And all the bars in Japan are like company owned, like it used to be in the United States before Prohibition. But you would have a Kirin bar or a Asahi bar or Sapporo bar. So the bar is captive to the brand. They have that in England too. And but in America, we don't have that. Like you don't. Have, they used to have Michelob only bars before Prohibition. It was just Michelob. Yeah, that's right. And it was only draft, and it was a Michelob bar. Well,
crazy.
Now, well, in the U.S., it's all light bars.
Sort of.
Has Bud Light, Coors Light, and Miller Light, and that's all they serve in town.
Well, if you go to like a dive bar kind of a place.
yeah. Well, This beer sort of reminds me of the Sapporo Special Reserve, which I guess was a response to this beer. Because if you search around, sometimes you can find Sapporo Special Reserve, which is in that big can, and it's got gold. It's got a lot of gold on it, and it's all malt, all barley malt. So I think that was a response to this one, which is the super premium Kirin. And I know they also make, you were talking about Asahi, they make Asahi Amber Lager, which I had. They make Asahi Black, the Kuranami, which is a black Sapporo. That was really, Asahi, that was an awesome Asahi Kuranami.
Yeah, Swollengrog did a video review of that beer.
Swollengrog, yeah.
It looked good.
Well, it is. So, Paul, what do you think about this beer?
I like it. It's full. I call it full body. Has a nice balance to it. You know, you have the grain, you have the hop bitterness, you have a little bit of the alcohol flavor.
Yeah.
Very refreshing. I like it. It's good.
Anybody
I was
else?
going to say one thing that's interesting. I was reading up on the website while we're sitting here, and they are actually brewed by the Weihenstephaner Brewery in Germany for their German sales.
Oh, man, and we've had some good experiences with that Weihenstephaner, huh?
Yeah.
And I know in England it's brewed by, I think, Carling, which is Molson Coors. So, they just got people around the world making it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Okay, let's see if we covered everybody. We got Paul, he likes it. I like it a lot. Patrick?
Hi. This is, like I said, this is the first time I've ever had it. When I first opened, I noticed that the smell was a little different, and the first taste, it reminded me almost of like a couple of the malt liquors I've had.
Yeah.
The maltiness was very familiar. It was kind of along the same lines. Mine had like almost no lacing. It was a big fizzy head at first, and then that dissipated almost right away. I'm not really loving it. It's not terrible. If I went to somebody's house and they offered it to me, I might drink it, but I wouldn't search it out again.
Oh. Patrick, do you think somebody could make you think this was Mickey's fine malt liquor if you didn't know better?
No.
If you handed me in a glass, it probably
It kind of
wouldn't be a
reminds me of
far-fetched.
Old English a little bit. Like, Old English is more alcoholic. Like, I probably tell difference from the carbonation and the alcoholic nature, but I'd say it's not that far removed from an Old English, to be honest.
It sort of tasted like Magnum, but I actually thought Magnum tasted better.
What about, let me throw this out there. Red Stripe Light.
For a long time since I had that.
I don't know. I think it tastes a little bit like Mickey's.
It reminds me of that. Yeah.
I kind of agree with you there.
It's funkiness, really.
Yeah, Mickey's has that tang, like that tang. It's tangy.
I used to drink
Especially
Mickey's
the
a lot
smell.
back in the
I think
day.
it has the smell sort of even more so than the taste.
I don't know. That's weird, but that's no problem for me because I can drink some Mickey's now. Me, I like Mickey's.
Nice.
Fine malt liquor. Keon, what do you think, Joni?
I'm from a lot of the other malt liquors that I drink. I feel like this one is a little lighter. It's really smooth. I feel like it's kind of like what the others were saying is kind of like a light beer. When I drink it, I get kind of like a hoppy aftertaste. Nothing like you'd find in an IPA, but you still get that hoppy flavor in there. It's really nice.
I'm not
I could
tasting hops.
drinking this with some sushi or something. It's just getting me in the mood just looking at the Japanese phone.
So if you went to a Japanese restaurant, you could handle some of these.
Yeah, no problem. This is pretty good beer. Reminds me of Mickey's, but a little more on the light side, I would say.
Yeah,
But
well,
still has that
it is
flavor.
lighter. It is lighter. Mickey's is 5.6%, and this is only 5. So it's lighter. I find it has a little more body than Budweiser, though.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. Definitely.
It's all malt. That's why. Budweiser's made with rice that lightens the body.
Good point.
Yeah, Budweiser's a little sweeter tasting, I think.
Yeah.
There is a little sweet finish on this as well. I can taste some sugar, some sweetness to it. Definitely.
Now, sugar. Yeah, I get that. Brandon, what do you think about this Kirin Ichiban Shibori?
I think he's taking a time out.
Or as they call it here, Kirin Ichiban. So Paul likes it. I like it. Patrick wasn't too thrilled with it. Keone likes it. I don't know what John and Charles think about it.
I think it's a pretty good beer. I mean, like I said, I think it's crisp, it's clean, it's refreshing, it's light, it's dry. I mean, I'm not gonna go out and search for it, but if I take the wife and kid a sushi bar, yeah, I'll probably have another one with it just to see what it tastes like with sushi because I've never had it with sushi. So
I put this a while back. What's this go for basically? Like say
you get a 6-pack for $7.99, which to me is a fair price for all.
I think that's what I give. Well, my wife bought it while she was at the package store. Maybe it was about $8.
Whoa, someone's murdering a baby.
See, for me, at the price point that it's at, it wouldn't be something I'd be interested in.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Patrick.
I think it tastes pretty good all the way until the finish. I think the finish is a little bit. There's some kind of funk in my mouth that it's just kind of hanging around. But at the same time, I think if you were eating some food with this, it'd be a much different experience.
Mm-hmm.
I can spend an extra $1 and get an arrogant bastard, which I know is not an option for everyone, but that would be a preferable option for. But I mean, this is obviously a very different beer. But even if I want something like this, I think there are other things in that price point.
Right. I mean, I can watch a Western or I can watch a science fiction movie, but, you know.
Yeah. That beer would be the Kirin Ichiban would be very good with some French fries, gravy, and cheese curds known as the poutine. It would be very good with some French fries up in Montreal, Quebec.
You're eating those up there right now, you bastard, aren't you?
I want to see. Oh yeah, he's a big world traveler. I want to see what I want to see what Beer Cup's saying about this beer. Michelle says she liked it.
Yeah, I've had it a few times. I enjoy it. I probably like Sapporo a little better than this, but I could definitely see having this with any kind of Oriental food. I think it would go really well. It's got very bready and some nice grassy and floral hop flavor to it as well. So I think it's really well balanced.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to compare this to like a blind taste test, like this, Old English, Asahi, Sapporo, and then maybe even like Singha and Shang, like the Thai beers. Kind of a little bit similar as well. It'd be interesting to do a blind taste and try and guess what each one was, you know?
Yeah, but I don't think I've drank enough of those to really be able to tell. Like, yeah, Old English, I've been drinking that for 19 years, but probably not a whole lot, but I have, you know, quite a bit. But this one, like some people will tell me, why don't you do a taste test and see if you could tell the difference between Arrogant Bastard and then they name 2 other beers, and I'm like, I haven't really drank any of those that many times. I wouldn't be familiar with it. I mean, I could say this is really good, and this is really good, and this is really good, but telling them apart, I don't think there'd be any point to it. Oh, Brandon, I wish I could get Mickey's Ice too.
I do too. I like to have one. The only thing we can get around here is Mickey's.
Oh yeah, that's like 99% of the market, and then there's this 1% Mickey's Ice, which nobody can get.
Bruce,
go to Florida.
I know that's the only one I've ever seen.
Somebody, I think they have it in Pennsylvania because I saw a picture of a case of Mickey's Ice. Somebody picked it up on a beer run in Pennsylvania, so they do get it up there apparently.
Yeah, it's all over Florida. Oh, Eric says anything with ice in the title is usually bad. Oh, like Ice House, like Natural Ice, like Bud Ice. Is that what you're talking about, Eric?
Yeah, all of those.
Anything with ice in it is actually pretty good.
Well, now y'all can't be friends anymore.
Ice block.
You know how many ice beers I drink? All right, now,
sorry, I'm a snob. I'm sorry.
He's from California, but
Go to Kansas.
yeah, Mickey's Ice Brewed Ale as well. It's Ice Brewed Ale. Okay, now, correct. That's right. Now, well, anyway, Brandon, final thoughts. You like this beer or not?
I like this beer quite a bit. I mean, if you for this style of beer, a pale lager, 5% ABV. I mean, if you're looking for a good malty beer, but that's not too heavy, this definitely has that going on. It's fuller in flavor than Budweiser for reasons I stated. And I gotta say, it's a solid brew. I definitely give it a high rating myself. I really like this beer.
I think it's worth the price, but like y'all, I'm not gonna say, oh, I gotta go get some Kirin Ichiban. But I could see myself drinking it sometimes. I think it's a cool looking label. It's
I
think if I had a bunch of people over that's never had it at my house, and I was somewhere wanting to buy a mid-range beer price, I think I'd pick up a 6 or 12 pack of this to bring over just to introduce them to it.
You think it would do well at a dinner party? Bringing about 5 bottles of this?
I would, yeah.
Yeah, might go well with fondue also, I think.
Ooh, yeah. Some fromage.
Yeah, that's French for cheese.
I would like to get some people. Well, of course, there's people in my house about 6 days a week drinking beer, but I would. I'd like to get about 5 or 6 of these different beers that we've tried, and put them in a brown bag, and just see if they enjoy them or not, and see how they feel about these. Because I think you could put some of these on a gas tap at a craft bar, and they would go over real well.
Oh yeah, you like if they don't know who makes it.
Yeah.
Now if you told them, this is made by Anna, they'd say, oh yeah, I don't really like it. What happened to Paul?
He left. He must have got kicked out by his internet connection.
Let's try to
really
read.
think
Just got by a child.
The children might have started screaming. All right. Got a baby that's not even a year old. Let's see. I'm going to try to re-invite him. All right. Henry in Goodfellas. He's just listening. All right.
Henry, you never talk.
Right. You don't say much. I'm just listening. He's content to be a jerk.
Look, Bob. One guy's looking this way, one guy's looking that way.
Yeah. Well, it sounds so much better in Italian. Next week we're going to look at ale, and we're really going in a different direction. Well, we're doing macro beer, but we're going in a different direction because we're going to look at Blue Moon.
Blue Moon.
From 1995, so it'll be the 20th anniversary of Blue Moon. And y'all better start looking for your Beck Sapphire. And then Michelle's got us a good topic.
I need my syllabus.
That's right. Michelle's got us a good topic that says, when did you start drinking beer?
Sweet.
Eric, Brandon says,
Legally or illegally?
Same here.
The statute of limitations has passed for all of us, so you can.
Because there was a communion party in the 80s that, well, I won't get into that.
Eric's saying, any of you had the Anchor IPA? Yes, I have, and I liked it. It was weird, though. We've had Anchor Steam, but not the IPA, Beer Cup says. Eric says Anchor IPA is better than Liberty Ale, which is better than California Lager. No, I would put Liberty Ale above Anchor IPA.
You know what? I wouldn't actually argue with you too strongly on that. I love Liberty Ale, like deeply in my heart. It was one of my favorite
It's the first IPA ever brewed in America, 1975.
I'm not even gonna fight that one. I kind of just said that loosely. I really do think the Anchor IPA is a great beer, though.
Oh, I like it. It does have a kind of strange olive oil flavor. Now, Brandon says he has some Frank Sinatra stuck in his head. Oh, okay. Now, 15-ounce Beck Sapphire. Good. Ballantine was brewing an IPA before Prohibition. Yes, and they recently brought their Ballantine IPA back.
I believe Ballantine's an old Philadelphia brewery brand, too.
Wasn't it from Newark, New Jersey?
Somewhere around there.
It was bought by Falstaff, and they were bought by Pabst. Now, well, anyway, this was an interesting examination, I thought, but, you know, I'm always, like, geeked up for beer, so that ain't saying much. I could spend an hour talking about earthquake, high gravity, 12%, even as nightmarish as that is. Michelle emptied her glass with a lager in it. Mark your calendars. Hey.
I spent a lot of times near the toilet with that high gravity stuff.
Now in 2016, when we start our camo series, well anyway, we've gone on long enough. Thank you folks for watching this video. Sorry, Ron, I always feel like I'm tasting so much something or I got blacked out on years, but I gotta be honest.
I was just apologizing. I always feel like I'm the most brutal. Everyone else seems to like the beers, and I always talk shit on them.
You either like it or you don't.
You can be honest. Yeah. Now, when you check Facebook later, you'll notice that we're not friends anymore, but it's no big deal. No big deal. And if you're in any of my groups, you're banned, but I'm not, it's not a problem.
Don't feel bad, Eric, because a lot of these beers that he tries to choose are beers that everybody can get. Yeah. So, a lot of those types of beers, they aren't the kind of thing I like either, and so I always feel kind of like I'm the one going, not so good. So.
Michelle's bringing up a good point, because what the problem is, there's a lot of different, beers we would like to examine, but then the people can't get the beers. So what's the point? We'll come on with, we could have said, oh, we want to do Murphy's Irish Red Ale. Well, how many people would have been here? 2? Me and John did it. No one else could show up. And then Brandon did it. We had to do it 2 different nights because you just almost cannot that beer. So Eric's making all kind of strange faces. He's having a good time. Probably drop some tabs. But anyway.
Yeah,
I know it's right.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, we
some
might.
more protein.
All right. Well, anyway, enough of the jocularity. Thanks, folks, for watching this video production. And examining Mickey's. We actually did that, Brandon. But we could do it again one day. Oh yeah, it was me and John's duo review.
Yeah, we done duo. I'll do it again if anybody wants to do it again. So.
Oh yeah, I can get that for $3.99 a 6-pack. All right. Well, thanks, folks, for watching this video production, and y'all come on down to whatever place you want to go to. Because I can't,
Canada.
Canada.
Wyoming.